It is 7:17. A human trafficker, a violent repeat offender, and a thief who fuels his drug habits with stolen goods. Here's the weekly Crime and Punishment Report with KIRO News Radio's Hannah Scott.
Our first case involves Lee Coleman, a man with a lengthy criminal history on both state and federal charges, who was sentenced to more than 11 years behind bars Friday for pimping out young girls, including 3 kids on Aurora Avenue.
This was a 2+ year investigation conducted by the Seattle Police Department's high-risk victim unit, who worked tirelessly to identify all of these victims and ultimately hold Mr. Coleman accountable. This case shines a light on the insidious ecosystem of sex trafficking along Aurora Avenue North. It is incredibly difficult to build a successful trafficking prosecution against third-party traffickers because of how manipulative and coercive they are to their victims.
Ben Gowan is with the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office specialized unit that handles pimps and says Coleman kept these girls in line through fear and intimidation, including violent beatings, and in one case, burning a woman with a hot curling iron.
This work is important because of the gender and race inequality that is in the sex trade, and the data shows that 45% of our victims of child sex trafficking identify as Black or African American, whereas our county population is less than 7% Black or African American. And the buyers of these children are disproportionately white adult males. Vast majority, 95% plus of our cases involve females, child female victims.
The women would bring in hundreds of dollars a day, all of which would go to Coleman. One woman alone was bringing in $400 a day. He would tell them what to do, how to do it.
This case also demonstrates the resiliency and strength of sex trafficking survivors. As a result of the Seattle Police Department's hard work and determination to identify these victims and hold the defendant accountable, all 5 of these victims have been able to move on with their lives. They are out of the life of sex trafficking, and they have other employment, they have families, they have stability. One of them is actually being recruited by the King County Sheriff's Office to potentially work as a law enforcement officer right here in our community. So this goes to show that if we can identify these victims, hold their traffickers accountable, offer them resources, and stay with them in a victim-centered way throughout this process, then we can open the gates for opportunity for them so that they can go on in life in a positive trajectory and leave this life of trauma behind.
One of the 5 victims in this case, just 14 years old, another 16, and a 17-year-old girl. All were targeted and groomed while in state care.
I think a lot of folks in our community are understandably upset and frustrated with what they see along Aurora, right? The open-air sex trade, the violence, the crime that goes along with that. And I would ask people to consider and hopefully realize that the vast majority of those women and young girls out there do not actually want to be out there. They are sex trafficked by a third party. They're coming from out of state, and they're here because there's an incredible demand for commercial sex. But for that demand, they would not be here. And so I would ask people to channel their frustration and their ire not to the victims, not to the majority of women who we identify as victims along Aurora Avenue North, but to the demand, the sex buyers that are bringing those people here, and then of course the third-party traffickers who are making a lot of money off the exploitation that you all are seeing along Aurora Avenue North.
In our next case,